Alright, I am now getting ready to resaw a log. This is a walnut log. It's right at, from top to bottom, right at 11.5 inches with bark on it. And, you know, it's a pretty good sized log. About the same, it's a pretty nice round log. And then it's right at, this one's at 30, about 40 inches long. 42 inches long is what this thing is. So it's a fairly good log. I've got another one over here that's 4 feet long. I'm going to be milling it today as well. I have milled this material today, this morning. This is the first material that I did resaw, and they started off with blanks. And I have another log that I'm going to resaw, and that's my waste from the other saw. And this is my sled. I've got 2 hydraulic tables that lift the log up, and it allows me to pick the log up over here off this table and put it on one of these little hydraulic carts that on the wood table, roll it around to the back side, pump it up with a pump on this foot right here, and then roll it off onto this table. Now, the hydraulic pumps are pretty good. They will lose their tension on the tables right here. So every now and then, you know, once every 2 or 3 hours, you got to check that. Make sure that it's not dropping down. Also, you don't want to leave a log sitting on here for very long. What I've done here is I've got this one ready for the first cut. This right here is where the first cut will stop. So I'll lose a little sapwood there. And I've got my saw maxed out about the height that it needs to go. And then we're going to engage the dust collector with the dust deputy on it back there. And I've got a couple of little wedges in here for the first cut until I get a square on it. And then I have screws right here into the log. They're about 3-inch screws. So then they're in there just to basically keep the log running. Here is take the drill and rotate the log. So, and you do want to back them out, because when you do rotate them, if they're sticking through that side, that'll keep you from cutting straight. So, all right. So my log's just sitting there on the round. I'll bring it over here, and again, guys, this log is pretty heavy. It's yeah, it's pretty heavy. So you get on there flat, nice and flat here, nice and flat here, and you really don't need these screws anymore after that. The rollover part is just about done with it. You're not going to have any trouble with it. And the cutoff part that you're going to waste, here's 0. So we're there. So you don't really even have to adjust your saw on the other cutoff part of it. So I only really use the screws on that part of it. And again, the weight of the saw. I left this open so that I can take my saw, my table, and use it, so I can still use this with the resaw table attached. So this is the first time without a bearing out in here in this area. It starts sagging down. So the closest bearing is here, and it starts sagging down. But that's not that big of a hassle for me. I had another camera set up and the battery's dead, so I went through it with the charger. And we're going to roll this over one more time and get a good face on it. Now, this has got a little slag on it. Probably didn't cut it as much as I needed to on that, but we'll see. Okay, we're going to cut the other face off of it. And just a matter of sliding back over there. Okay. Now we got to cut side off, another side off. So this one we're going to have to move the saw out, the slider in. So, alright. So, try and keep it even, 3 1/4. And we're right at 3 1/4. Let me jump that back here. Okay, 3 1/4. And on the other ones, when I put them on there, I put marks as you'll see here in just a little bit. Okay, so it's on there. It's always a good idea to push it back up against the fence. If you had screws in it, it would probably be fine. Again, we're probably going to open that table a little bit, so push it up and over. There we go. And we should be ready to roll again. You're going through about a pretty good chunk of walnut there, and I'm just starting to get into that heartwood on that. I may cut the center of that out here after I get done getting these logs treated up and get them to where I want it. Some of this is just junk, but my trash bag's gonna fall out into the garage. It's surprising the weight that's on these logs and how heavy they are. But you don't realize that until you get your wife out here on 90 miles. Hey, help me cut this, and you see guys using a little roller stand like that. Roll the log. Now, this log right now probably weighs in at, oh, I don't know. It weighs in a little bit. And I'm not really so much worried about this angle here being square because, you know, I'm going to be straight lining it with and joining it, so it stays in there pretty good. What I'm more concerned with is my cutoff line where I'm at, and I'm still about right on my cutoff line. So when we get done with this, we'll have a 8x8 beam, and we can put that table up a little bit. And at this point right here, it wouldn't be a bad idea to bring that blade, you know, down a little bit, the blade guide. It won't hurt it, you know, bring it down in there and be a little more safe as far as that goes. So, good. We'll do the left pipe running. Move this up to about 1 inch. Index again. Tighten her down. And we'll be ready to roll. Move her back. deal, because at this point I could be using the resaw ability of the saw and doing that now. As you can see, I'm getting a little garbage back in there. Alright, and at this point here you might ask, hey, get down to that point where you might be wondering if I'm going to lose a board or something like that. And if you're inclined, the biggest sapwood part's over here on this side here. So I didn't get a very good cut on. So there's just screw in there. As long as it don't go past more than an inch, you'll be fine. Okay? Alright, so there I am. There's your boards that you're cutting. They're right at an inch thick. That's the remainder. And if they do fall, they're supposed to fall on the table. And some do, some don't. Some fall off the side. We need to put a couple more stickers in here. Don't have any cut. So just want to get these big logs cut out. This cable cleared out of the way. So now, having said that, I've got an inch, a screw that is now in that log about, a half inch. So even if I cut another inch off there, I'll be good to go. So there I am, ready to roll. Still got it there. I just need to set it up for another inch cut. And hit the old index strip. There. And depending on how much board you have left, sometimes you may want to make that an 1.25 inch board or so. As you can see, my wedge, I'd probably get 2 1-inch boards out of that one. We'll give it a go and see where we're at. I think I'll probably get 1 inch, and then I won't worry about the rest of it. So, there we go. As with everything in woodworking, sometimes it's a matter of just simply stopping, looking at what you're doing, making a minor modification, and going with it. And I'm sure that the sawyers, they have to do the same thing, even when they're dealing with little chunks of wood the size of 4 feet wide. But I'll tell you what, you go to working with one of these big boys and looking at what you can get out of it for wood, You know, that one's still gonna need to be resawed down to about a 1x4 in wood size, so I'll run them and rip them down. I don't need a Resaw Sled for those. Okay, now it's time for the big boy. And he's 4 foot long. And he will fill this whole saw sled up. Okay. Main thing you need to look is this table. See this table settle down? So make sure that it's supporting your weight. And this, what I did is design this table to come down. Be the truck for my other logs. Alright. So take that like that. Take the big guy and there we go. All right. So, a little bit of leverage. And they scoot about as fast as a turtle on Sesame Street. They don't. All right. We're going to take this big old boy log and for some reason try and cut him up on this sawmill. Now, this guy weighs about 200 pounds. He's 4 foot long and he's a little bit on the hefty side. So, what I'm going to do is roll him around over to here where he gets pretty close to the table. And then I'm going to try and kick some brakes on. And pump him up. So, here we go. Now, this would be a little bit of a job if I didn't have Mr. Hydraulic over here lifting this up. So, alright, and I'm going to try and get him up with that. And maybe put another 2x4 in there if I have one. Or not. Just for the fun of having something that's going to take up the space. Okay, now what I'm doing is going to roll him up over to here and get him on this sled. So, here we go. Now, it may be better to roll that way or not. Okay, now, having that done, you do want to put a log block in there and treat it like it's going to be a problem. Alright. Now this is going over here to support the other side of the table. And I don't really care about all that. I'll just throw that in there. Okay, go down. Bring him around. Got a little kid over there just screaming. I just love little kids. They're great. We've got some grandkids just like them. Alright, so picking the weight up on the table, just a hair. Okay. Just so when I see the legs that are up just a hair, then I know that these have it. I'm going to tell you, this is made out of 1x4s, and they're in there, and that's glued and screwed. This bad dog is heavy. Okay, and he's pretty heavy, and he's going to stay heavy until we cut some of his stuff off of him. So, all right. So there's your 4-foot sled with your log on there. Now this is the biggest log that I've cut, and we're gonna look at cutting something off of that. Of course, we got to raise that up. Let me go ahead and move my cameras back over to get a different view. And this is just about as big as we can get on that without it interfering with the cut. I think we'll still be all right. So, we'll put that up there. Not a bad idea to put a wedge or two in there just to, you know, just not too bad a sense to do that, is it? Oh. Just kind of get it up there where it's situated and it doesn't feel like it's going to roll too much. Then we're going to bury one of these into the side of this. Because 2 inches is pretty much waste anyway, right? And we might have another screw that would go deeper, but as long as I got a tack on there to keep it from going too far. Okay. All right, we're going to try a little bit different process, and we're going to let the old saw do its thing here and get the log up on top of this. So first thing we'll do is get this around here, bring it around. Okay, this log is a pretty good sized log, and to give it some scale, it's 4 feet long, and it's probably 12, 24, oh, let's see how long this thing is. It is about 11 inches that wide, and about 11 inches. So this log is about 11 inches, and it is 4 feet long, just a hair under 4 feet long. Let's see where we're at here. About 47 inches from long point to long point. And then the other end of it is, there's about 10 by 10. So the hard part about this is getting this little guy up on top of the sled, and we're going to crank this thing up. And what we're doing is using the hydraulics, pumping it up, and we are going up to the top. We'll roll it over onto that sled right there. Roll up a little higher. Okay, so there we go. About the height of it, I'm going to put the camera down because this is a monster's a little bit bigger than what I want to handle. And you'll get to see this going on to this thing right here. So I'm going to push it that way a little bit, and then roll her that way, and that way, until it is on the table. I'll switch the old camera up a little bit, and then move her over to the Resaw Sled. Now, your first cut is just simply getting a cut on it, and trying to keep it from rolling off get something that you can use. Now, this has got a knob on that side. I'm going to try and get rid of that on the first cut. So, get that over here. Of course, I'd have to rotate this thing 360 degrees. And we'll get that done. Alright. So we can get it straightened up a little bit. And then we'll see what we got. Okay. Alright. So there we are with over. Right now that's just kind of looking at the log. Here's your cutoff line right here. So we'll be getting quite a bit of that. We'll cut about 3 inches of that, about 1.5 inches of that other end off. And we might want to go just a little bit more than that. So I've got a notch on this end, and I might just bring that fence in just a little bit. Kind of hug it. Right. And the thing about the fence is try and keep it straight. For example, about 1.5 inches on that end. Try and get this as tight as I can, about 1.25 inches to the sled side. And about 1 3/8 inches on that side. And 1 3/8 inches on this side. Pump it that way just a little bit more. Okay, we'll check it again. An 1.5 inches. And not quite 1.5 inches. Okay. One last check. 1.5 inches full. 1.5 inches full. Okay. Tighten that down. And then we'll need to put an anchor in the log. So, now, since I can't really get much of a bite there, let's go up here and get a bite. Okay, that one pulled it up. And I'm going to drill another hole over on this side. Just so I can get a decent bite. Okay, that ought to hold. this with a winch. Now, the winch is too fast. So, how do you slow it down? You slow it down with many pulleys going back and forth? Who knows? But we're going to try this again. Okay, now let's cut up another inch. Trying to get some yield now. Do that over about an inch, a little farther. And gotta kind of watch that, make sure there's nothing down in there that's really causing us to stay out away from the blade. Every now and then it's worth it to run that masher. Alright, let's grab the dust collector. Back out there. Alright, now we'll move it up here where that index line is about. Okay. There we go. Up against it. I can say that this one did not mill up as nice as the other one. There's a real hard spot right in here. And man, it is just really hard. I guess that's where a tree limber branch is coming on there, so it's kind of weird. Alright, well, let's turn these bad dogs off here.